another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level. I'm on another level.
Welcome back, y'all. It's the Next Level Living podcast. And I mean the number one podcast amongst anybody who watch podcasts.
Is it me or he just extra sexy and smooth today?
You know.
Because typically he got that energy.
He got that look today.
That boy look good too with that beard. I'm sorry, my dog. It's been a week. You know
bro,
what I'm saying?
I love you, dog. Like, I love you.
Why?
And the thing is, bro, is that I had to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And so I've been watching myself on some of these episodes. And sometimes I get so excited with my mic volume that sometimes it just comes out like, all right, everybody. And I'm like, I can be excited without giving y'all everything too. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? They know. Yeah. So I'm just trying to tailor it back a little bit and balance it all together so that people can receive it sound-wise too. Because everybody's not watching YouTube.
That's a word.
Some people are just driving in their car and I don't need you getting into an accident on the 65, you know? Mm-hmm. You're trying to merge right now and I can't be commenting at the same time that we that excited. So I was just trying to balance out. But thanks for speaking to that, bro.
I love it.
For sure. So just letting y'all know, like, we are the number one podcast amongst anybody who like podcasts. Like, that's exactly why we're your favorite podcast. It's that type of podcast. And I'm here with my people today. K-Hart, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You look good.
Thank you.
That color hitting.
We matching today.
I don't know. I didn't do that. You might not have did it, but
God did.
Jay, how you feeling, my dude?
Good, bro. I see you with the olive, though.
For real?
Yeah.
I appreciate that, bro.
I see you, my
And
boy.
I don't know if everybody can see your footwork or anything.
That's
but
not important.
I just knew.
No. We're not commenting on these people today.
Oh, but I'm just saying the color code.
Oh, okay. The
color code. Absolutely.
Okay.
She's very.
Not today.
Hey, you know what? I'm aware.
Time out.
At the end of the day, I'm going to stand beside him. Like, Jordan did some mistakes. I still be wearing them. At the end of the day, I don't know who's behind Polo Ralph Lauren and what he's done. I don't know who's behind
Though
that
his comments are uncomfortable, his shoes are comfy. No, I'm just playing. Let's go. He ain't loyal.
Okay. Says the person.
Right.
Lace them things up.
Anyway, y'all, we back with another episode, y'all. And I'm talking about a fire episode. Today's going to be super fire. And we're getting into something very specific. K-Hart, introduce kind of what we're talking about on this segment.
Okay. So today we're talking about just being in alignment with 2023. We know it's how many weeks in now? I don't know. A few weeks into 2023 now. But we want to say that you are your biggest obstacle. And we want to really drill into like you versus you in this whole year, basically. Yeah. And then also like some of the things that we see this year that we left behind last year. So now that we've had a little bit of time in 2023, what are some things that you're glad you left behind?
So when I hear you say you know who I instantly think about? Who? E.T. Eric Thomas. He just dropped the book, You Owe You. Yeah. New York Times bestseller. Shout out to the big homie. Like 6 weeks in a row. So super proud of that accomplishment. Wow. But in his book, You Owe You, he really talks about how stop blaming your mama, stop blaming your daddy, stop blaming your cousin, who broke your heart, who hurt you, who molested you, who took advantage of you, who stole from you. It's like, okay, that happened. Shame on them. But if you stay in that place, shame on you. So the idea behind You Owe You is rich. So when you said it, it kind of triggered something in me where I'm like, yeah. And I'm not blaming nobody in this season. Right. This the year when I'm not on, well, if you would have did, no. Not even people who upset me or frustrate me or piss me off. I'm not even giving you that power. It's like, well, I responded this way because no. I am taking ownership for where I am. So that's kind of what I'm on. High level, when I think about You Owe You and what I owe myself, man, I owe myself success. I owe myself peace. Like I owe myself love. And so that's what I'm on. When you say You Owe You, that's what I'm on.
What's going on, guys? Inky Johnson here, Next Level Speakers Academy. We just want to take some time to highlight some of the success of some of our students. Check this out.
I would have never thought 3 years ago I'd quit my job. I was making over 6 figures, and as a speaker, because of the Next Level Speakers Academy, I've made well over 6 figures in 1 year. Actually less than 1 year because of the game plan, the support, and the community within the Next Level family.
Last week, I received my first $20,000 speaking check. And if I can do it, so can you.
Hey, look, y'all, I was released from my corporate gig, and then I signed on with Jeremy in the Next Level Speakers Academy, and he over-delivered with the content and the value. And once I began to apply it, I started to get booked at schools all around the country. I went from speaking sometimes to speaking a lot more. Not only that, I'm on pace to earn more speaking than I did at my actual corporate gig. And here's the wild part. My most recent check was for $6,700. I never in my life thought that I can get that for doing an hour presentation with youth. But Jeremy has shown me the way, has been a phenomenal leader, and the Academy has been a true blessing to me.
I feel like that's super dope because me and Chris was just talking recently, and she has people that she's invested in or that she really care for who really may have been unfair to her, just with life, career, everything. And her love for people, I look at her and as a protector, I'm just like, so what'd you do back to them? Like, well, what did you do? Because she's in a position now, just like Joseph in the Bible, where she's in a position where she could make people feel the wrath of what they did before. And her heart got so much love in it that it starts changing mine. Like it starts letting me know, like, dang, Mike, like, you don't have to win every battle. You don't have to get back every person that did you wrong. That's God's job to sit there and stand on your behalf. And so for us to move into this new year, like you said, there are some things we have to be okay letting go.
Yep.
And for myself, like what I'm taking from hearing you, Jay, what I'm taking from you, Crystal, is that God is not going to put me where he already has for me until I can let go of weights that I'm holding on to for people that might have not done me wrong or derailed or tried to derail my purpose, but I'm only giving them access to me with my inability to let go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's factual.
So go ahead.
Whew. No. So I don't know. Have I shared on a podcast that my mom has dementia? I don't know if I have. But
I don't think you have.
if I have not, my mom had me when she was older. She has dementia currently. And part of the one silver lining I see is that it's allowed her to let go and not hold on to grudges as long as she used to.
Wow.
And so...
because mama was gangster.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. You don't want no smoke.
And so for her, I see she's able to just move past it. Like it's involuntary, but she doesn't carry that face of just like holding that grudge anymore. And I'm grateful for that for her because I don't know if she would have ever gotten there by herself. But yeah, it's a multi-layer thing. But that's one thing that I can say has allowed me to have a different relationship with my mom now is because I'm understanding that where she is, and I can't hold any grudges against her from the past because that's just not the right thing to do anymore. Yeah. So in 2022, it was a transformative year for our relationship, and it was like, okay, now you can start to really see who she is with all these layers peeled back because she doesn't really have an option to do that anymore. So I kind of want to take that stance and just be like, let me just forget about that stuff from the past. Like, yeah, process it, but move on. Sometimes people say, you need to fully heal from everything, but healing doesn't always take as long as we think it should. Like we put a time limit sometimes on healing. And sometimes healing doesn't take that long. We just are trapped in our minds. So we need to free our minds too. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm taking into this year and telling myself, like, it's okay to like make those mistakes that you made in the past. Like, don't bring those into this year with you. And your biggest obstacle is going to be you in 2023 unless you change that mindset. So yeah.
Yeah.
I love it.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm looking in the mirror now, kind of almost like sizing myself up. Like, okay, yep, I see what you did last year. I see what you did in the first month of 2023. Like, it's a whole nother level. So I'm really committed more to be able to grow. I'm committed to be able to read more counseling. Man, I had a phenomenal counseling session about a week ago. And my counselor told me something really deep. She said, Jeremy, you are as effective as you are in ministry because of how you've been afflicted.
Oh don't know if it's the lights that's making me hot or that just, whoa.
Yeah, she says, you are as effective as you are in ministry because of how you've been afflicted.
My God.
She said, all that you've gone through this season, how you she said, that's where you get like that edge, that strength, like that anointing from. And so it freed me because I had been viewing myself. It's kind of weird. It's almost like I've been viewing myself as a victim, but not whining like, woe is me.
Right.
But kind of been feeling like, man, I've been going through it. Like I've been having to deal with boom, 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 boom. And God is just like, that was preparation. So when she told me the way that you've been afflicted, like the way that God has bruised you, she said, bruised you. She's like, that's where your strength has come from.
Wow.
And so I'm just really looking at everything. I think I'm finally maturing to the point, because I was saying it before, but it might have been a little cap when we say all things work together.
Yeah.
It's easy to say that for other people.
Of course.
But when somebody loses a child, it's easy to say to other people all things. But it's very few people that can say, I mean, that hurt, but all things work together for good. It's very few people that can get their heart broke on a regular basis and still say, but all things work together for the good. You know what I'm saying? Like, blessed be the name of the Lord. So I'm just learning in this season to take it, you know what I'm saying, all for what it is, but just realize like, yo, God is strengthening something. He's pruning something inside me that I've been saying for the longest on stage. It's not happening to you, it's happening for you. But I mean, something clicked, Deani, when she says you are as effective, because she been my counselor for years.
Yeah.
So she's seeing the conferences, we baptizing 30 people, 40 kids in college, traveling the world, generating all this. She sees that. She's like, you are as effective as you are because you've been afflicted, because of the way that God has allowed you to get bruised.
Yeah.
She's like, that's where you're. So for me, I'm thinking like, so I'm not walking around no more like, woe is me. I'm not even bringing it up to my counselor no more. I'm like, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so she's just like, can you continue? Look what she asked me. She said, can you continue to live like this? She's like, how you feeling? Where you are in the season? Can you continue to live like this? And I was like, for sure. I was like, yo, I'm not quitting. I'm not checking out on life.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is well with my soul. Whatever my lot God has called me to say, it is well with my soul. So my mindset now, Chris, I'm just like, yo, let's go. And whatever does come my way this year that's stupid, that sucks, that's dodo, I'm like, okay, God, how can I grow from it? How can I learn from it? Like, that's how I'm going to be Teflon in this new season.
I love that.
That's what I'm on. Yeah.
I love that, bro.
So one thing I had to leave behind, because y'all asked that, is that victim mentality. Because again, it's levels to it. It's levels to it. I was on some subconscious stuff. I was never walking around like, whoa, it's me, and this is, I wasn't never on that. But subconsciously, I was feeling like, man, I've been, you know what I'm saying? I've been kind of going through it.
Since you're really like high D across the board, you're like high power, like all these different things when it comes to the way you operate, do you think that any sort of thing you can grasp onto where it's like, you want to be successful, right? You want to put on a conference. If something doesn't happen, do you think you're quick to be like, well, that didn't happen because it's not supposed to, or, that didn't happen because this person didn't do their job? Like, do you place blame to make you feel like you're still the person who is being very efficient versus the next person?
So I think it's situational. You know, if I look at something, say with the conference or something with our team, and somebody doesn't do something right, I have to ask myself a few questions. Did I do everything within my power to train them up? Right? Like, so it's like, if I say, hey man, we went over this a couple of times, it's like, okay, well maybe 2 times wasn't enough. Or maybe they need to see it. Maybe they're not just a audible learner, maybe they're a visual, and maybe they should have wrote it out and then they had to initial it. Like, so I'm big on ownership. So that's one thing. If I'm challenging other people, I'm also gonna take ownership. So I'm more so the type that says, I could have probably done something different. But then there are times where I was just like, I ain't had nothing to do with that.
Okay.
That's just you and your issues. And so it's just like, now how do we address that? Is this something we can bounce back from and continue to move forward? Or do I need to say, you know, we're going to have to transition you out? And so that's something I kind of take to God. But I'm in a place now where I'm just like, I'm putting the biggest ownership on me. Nicole is responsible for working day to day with the company, the team. I'm just focused on making sure I'm the best leader. I'm making sure that I'm reading books. My counselor recommended a book to me called Can You Drink the Cup?
Can you do what?
Can you drink the cup?
What's that about?
Remember in the Bible when when the woman was just like, my son, James and John, like, I want one Jesus at your left and one at your right. And he was like, it's not my place to say who gonna be at my left or right. He is like, but can they drink the cup that I'm gonna have to drink? The cup of affliction, the cup of pain, the cup of sorrow, the cup of remorse, the cup of sin, the cup of death. Can they drink the cup? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so as I'm reading the book, can I drink the cup? It just kind of opens my mind to
who's aligned with you.
Oh, for sure. It's like everybody hurting. Everybody's, and so I need to make sure my alignment is with God and not bump social media.
Yeah, fact.
Man, miss me with keeping
bro.
up with the culture.
Yeah,
bro,
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
the
yeah.
culture. I'm
boy.
infusing a different culture out here in the world.
Talk, Jay.
So I'm past the trying to keep up and trying to do what I think might be cool or what people might accept. No.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to infiltrate the culture.
That part.
I'm supposed to infiltrate this space.
Yeah.
Like I'm supposed to walk and live a certain way. So people say, ooh, it pays to serve Christ. Or ooh, it's not always pretty, but look at how he's still faithful. Like he got a real relationship. That's what makes relationships real.
That part.
Man, me and Tracy's marriage is not so powerful because we deep in love with each other.
Yeah.
Me and Tracy's marriage is so powerful because we ain't quit. Because we still hanging in there. Because we still getting counseling. I still choose to love her.
Yeah.
She still chooses to love me.
Yeah.
We ain't perfect.
Yeah.
Our relationship ain't as strong as it is because it's like, man, they just walking around here in love, in bliss. No, in the morning when I'm irritated or I'm frustrated, I still go and say, let me give my wife a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah.
Let me go make her a cup of coffee. Even though I might not, that's what makes us so strong. So I'm just, in 2023, man, I'm on something different.
I love it.
Like whatever affliction, whatever trials come my way, I'm just trusting that God's going to prepare me for it.
Yeah.
And he ain't going to let that thing just completely knock me down.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep moving forward and I'm going to be even stronger than before.
Man.
What's up, y'all? Jeremy here. Look, our students get results. I want to take a moment and let y'all hear from a few people that's been killing it in our Next Level Speakers Academy. Check this out.
When I joined the academy, I took the things that I learned from it, and now I've been able to grow my business substantially, right? Speaking to companies like Facebook, like Biogen, like the Houston Texans, the Timberwolves, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and so many more, because I took the things that I learned and really transformed my speaking business to make a huge impact.
I most recently booked my first 5-figure contract, and I'm just so excited to return back to speaking women's empowerment, but it was not done without the support of the Next Level Speakers Academy.
I've applied those things and I'm able to get paid thousands per opportunity when I go and speak.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike?
It's going to be hard for me to focus on this episode because when Jay gets into these certain points and he starts speaking to me, I have to do two things. I have to be blessed by this episode and still work. And
But let's flow though.
Because bro, it's just impacting me
because it's out there carrying
bro,
this forward.
and I love
I'm
it,
just
bro.
like-
I love it,
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
because I know it's real.
Yeah.
I know it's real.
Yeah.
And God is literally calling me right now. Like even when I started and I was talking about forgiveness, letting go. Y'all, I don't know if anybody relates to this, but sometimes you feel like it's your duty to not let people slide on stuff when they crossed you. Like, and I've been, I take that personally because I am intentional with giving love. I'm intentional with trying to spread love. I'm intentional in trying to make sure that people feel safe with me. So when people look at me and they enjoy everything that I give freely and then take advantage of me, I feel like it's my job to remind you that it's not just good that lives here. And that is something that the enemy has been using to keep me from my next level. Because God is just like, Mike, I see you and you can win this battle, but this war that I got for you, you're going to keep losing with your purpose because you're trying to hold on to people that won't never fly. You're holding on to chickens and you're an eagle. Like I'm trying to get you to soar and you want to sit down here and remind people that they're chickens. Well, yeah, bro, you a crow. So yeah, you might be laughing at them from a branch, but you will never live like an eagle. You will never be up here with these until you let go of these other people. And I'm telling y'all, I'm being transparent with y'all because there are those of us who are okay stunting as if we're really happy because someone else sees you above them. And you ain't nowhere near where you know you're supposed to be. But because you keep holding on to something in the past and you got a little bit of clout where a few people think that you're doing something, you can never get to where in your heart, you know where you can be truly happy, but you have to be uncomfortable first and leave something in 2022. You still starting this year and you're going with that new message, new year, new me. You starting off with these new habits, but there's the thing that only you know. Nobody else can do it for you. Only you know that you got to let go of that resentment, that unwillingness to forgive, that victim mentality. And you have to do these things and only you and God can celebrate you. You're going to win this year in something that we can't even tell you that you did great for.
Right.
And that's the reason why you can't let go of that. And there's a level for you that exists once you get out of needing to do everything out of affirmation. You don't need to be affirmed for every single thing that you do. I don't need to be affirmed for every single thing. I have to trust God. I have to move in this purpose that he's given me. I have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and I have to go without the map of knowing where God is taking me. And that's why I feel that this resonates with me so much because this episode is not just for y'all. I have to go through this right now. And it's a release when you have like-minded individuals who are going through that as well and who are accepting that road. But there is a peace and there's an overwhelmness to the same type of person. And it all comes down to what you do with what you can't control. Do you hold on to what you can't control? That's going to cause overwhelm. Do you release what you can't control? And last year we talked about releasing to receive, but it all comes together. And it all works together.
That takes a lot of maturity too. You know, when you say that I'm gonna do something and not be worried about getting credit for it.
That part.
I'm gonna give y'all an example, okay? So, you know, I pride myself in being a really dope husband. And so, you know, I realized like, okay, I'm working, I'm paying the bills, my wife is working, we just built our first house, everything is smooth. And I began to do things around the house, hoping to get some loving.
Gotcha.
You feel me?
Fact.
I'm like, oh, you tired tonight. All right, well, tomorrow I'm finna hit them dishes and I'm finna vacuum and I'm finna put the laundry up. So you should have a little more energy so I can, you know, smash. You feel me? And so I got to a point where I was just,
Okay.
yeah, you know, we all adults here.
For sure. I mean, hey, you married, bro. Living that, bro. I look forward to this conversation. I look forward to being able to get on this podcast.
So watch this. So I'm like, I'm helping out, and it's like, okay, nothing changed. And then God was like, bro, how about you grow up? How about you just take out the trash and vacuum and do the dishes and help put up laundry because it's the right thing to do and not expect to get something in return. He was just like, because that's like almost some like prostitution. It's like you paying for something. Like that's my reward. So God was like, bro, how about you just do it? Because I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. But then I was like, but that's like she got used to it, and I was just like, I got to a point. I was like, hey, did you notice I did the laundry? Like, did you notice I vacuumed and mopped the floors? Like, did you notice I redid the closet? And so it's like I was looking for that appreciation. That hey, thank you so much, and that was just like. Oh, you spoiled now. Like, you don't even acknowledge. And God was like, bro, you so immature. You doing stuff now, not to get something, but just to get some credit or some affirmation. The Bible says, don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Just don't be out here feeding the homeless and then just to post the pictures just to feel. How about you just feed the homeless because they hungry?
And
so God was like, bro, get to your heart. You still doing stuff for Tracy approval. You still doing stuff. God was like, how about you chase her heart? And then I started doing that. And he was like, okay, how about you chase mine? How about you chase mine now? Because you chasing her heart a little too much. And now she gonna mess around and be your God. She shouldn't have the power for you to slip in and out of depression. How about you chase my heart? I'm the one that got up on the cross. I'm the one that died for your sins. I'm the one that gives you new mercies every single morning in your behind. How about you chase my heart? And I'm like, okay, what's the way to chase your heart? He's like, take care of my daughter. He's like, so as you serve her, you show her my character on a consistent basis. You govern your tongue, Negro. Don't be talking to her crazy. Me and Tracy talked the other day. I said, boo, you realize I don't think we ever had an argument where we like yelling at each other. I was like, I don't think we ever even cussed at each other. God was like, bro, how you deal with my wife is how I'm going to deal with you. And so I've really kind of been in that space lately. So I just share that because it takes maturity. Because once I'm doing something to hope to get some love, and then I'm doing something to hope to get some attention and a thank you. Now I'm just doing it because it needs to be done.
But listen, Jay, you just said something that's so crazy and so deep, is that what you were focused on, and when you said God needed to redirect you, he didn't even redirect you so you could stop doing what you were doing.
Oh, yeah, he
He just wanted you to change the intent.
Oh, come on.
He said, don't make Tracy your God. And then you said, give that back to him. But then his assignment was for you to continue doing back to your wife.
But through him.
But through him. He said, just go through me first. Don't do this of yourself. Like, ain't that crazy that a lot of stuff that we want to do for our lives, God already set aside in his plan for us, but we're doing it in the wrong steps. I want to go to the park so bad and have this fun with my friends. And God is like, you don't have shoes on. But I'm already late, God. I'm not going. There are rocks and thorns on the way to that park that you will not be able to enjoy yourself once you get there if you don't brace yourself for what you're about to walk through. Put your shoes on.
So I like that. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna pursue your heart, God, and then pursuing his heart. That's how I capture her heart. You know what I'm saying? And so he was just like, just take a step back and do some of these extra things. So now that's why when her and her girls went to Italy, and I was like, oh, you lit up like that? Like, are you feel? I'm like, okay, but we gonna go back then. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to keep you in that place of peace, right? So God can continue to flow through you. And then when she's in that place of peace, bro, you know what she made in the refrigerator, bro? This chick made a from scratch carrot cake cheesecake.
Lord have mercy.
That's what that was.
Is it still up there now?
That's what that was yesterday.
God bless.
We'll cut it after this episode.
Absolutely,
But she in that place, right? Where she's like, she feels like cooking and baking and doing, she in her zone.
Yes.
And so God is like, if I can just keep you in my zone, if you could just be in alignment with me, I know all these things I'm gonna add unto you. I know what Chris and Nick need. I know what Deani and Stefan and Jerry need. I know what Jeremiah and Crystal need. I know what Mike need. I know if you could just stay in alignment with me, watch what I do for you in this next year. So it's really me killing the old me.
Yeah, that's it, bro.
It's really me on some selfish me, on some, this is what I deserve. You know what God told me? He said, bro, you deserve to be dead. My man Merck had a Uzi to my head. He'd already killed 2 people in Alabama. The only reason he didn't pull the trigger is because of the grace of God. Wow. God on something what you deserve. God was like, bro, you should have been in prison. All the times the cops was behind you and you got 8 to 10 pounds of weed in the trunk and you about to have a heart attack if they hit them lights. God is like, bro, you should be somewhere in getting AIDS medication. You know what I'm saying? As promiscuous as you was in them drunken nights and you wasn't. God is like, bro, you want to talk about what you deserve?
Man.
Bro, I'd be like, I just playing, God. I don't want no smoke. Right? So for me, I'm out of that victim mindset no more. And I'm in a place of gratefulness. I'm in a place of alignment because there's too many people and there's too many things connected to me for me to be on to doing some dumb stuff out here on my own.
So to start the close, because we're about to shut this down. Like we done gave y'all way too much already. Like if this episode, if you ain't already got chills at some point, if you ain't like, I know I'm not the only one. That's basically what I'm saying. I know what I feel. Like y'all, like what are you willing to leave behind? Like this is not an episode for you to turn off and be like, oh, okay, what else is on YouTube? You're not going to change unless you address what you already are running from. What are y'all going to leave behind? Like the year's already started. It's well underway. Yeah, we're still in the first quarter, but time is going.
Facts.
Stop making excuses and let us know, like, what are you willing to do? Say it to yourself right now. Write it down right now and tell yourself, make a commitment to yourself. Text your friend who you can only have good times with. The person that you can't have uncomfortable conversations with. And make a decision to be your best self and let them make the choice of whether or not they want to stick around or not.
Facts.
You deserve that. You owe you, and it's you versus you in 2023. Like, this is your time. This is our time. We're making a decision here. We're standing here publicly letting you know we are unwilling to stay in 2022. And it's funny because, Jay, every year you say God is about to take you to the next level, I have to laugh the next year when I see it. Because every year, and it's not because I don't believe he's capable, it's because I can't see what another level looks like than what God just did for you. So when you say, yeah, we about to take this to the next level, I'm like, okay, I hope so. Because how do you beat taking your whole team to South Africa? How do you beat all these different experiences that have made these people?
I could tell you.
You gonna tell them?
I could tell
like,
you.
I want to know how. I want to know how do you beat merging with Eric Thomas, the #1 speaker in the world, and Inky Johnson to be a part of a brand that they wear that has been attached to you without their name on their chest. The Next Level speaker, he's wearing the shirts that you created. And he's the biggest speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you top that? Like, when you set your mind, your goals down, like, how do you achieve higher than that? Jeremy, tell me, how do you have confidence that God is going to take your life to another level every single year?
So here, my secret sauce is staying in alignment.
That's it.
That I ain't really got to even be super smart. The only common sense I got to have is whatever the Most High tell me to do. And if I feel like I can't hear His voice clearly, I just need to spend more time there.
Yeah.
And so for me, that's my safe space, right? But it's always levels to it. And y'all have messed around and gave me exposure. Bro, they should have never put us, Deani, at that 10,000 square foot villa overlooking the water. You should have never showed me that. You should have never showed me that.
That's your standard now.
Bruh, my plan, I'm about to say it.
You ain't about to say it.
My plan is the next time we go, we ain't got to rent it out. I tell the agent, block these 3 weeks. Me and my team is coming to stay in my residence there. So that's how you top that. We have 15 people last. You know what we doing next year? Because I've noticed that 15, 20 people was a bit much for Tracy for 2 weeks. I said, babe, we're going to spend a month there. And then we're going to have just shifts of people flying in. So, Nick, if you and Crump want to come on the second week, like, because I know ET and CJ, they come in the third week, like, we're going to pace that sucker out. So it's always levels to it, man. And God was just like, as long as you stay in alignment with me, as long as you keep serving me and serving the people, as long as you keep giving, as long as you take care of their precious team.
Yes.
I mean, our team is precious.
Yeah.
As long as you take care of them, I'm going to blow your mind.
I love it.
Yep.
So y'all, do not forget the secret sauce. He said, stay in alignment. And if you feel God's voice fading, which we have all felt, y'all, so many times I get so caught up doing the work that God has asked me to do, I forget to check in with Him because I'm so busy trying to get this accomplished. Make sure, just to get back, this is so important because we all slip. Just the secret sauce. Stay in alignment with Him. And if His voice gets dim to where you don't know if it's Him or not, spend more time with Him. 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 Y'all, you got to spend more time with Him. Don't get distracted and say that, oh, it's so uncomfortable that I can't start. Spend more time with Him.
Can I give him a few examples?
Please, Jeremy.
Just in 30 seconds. For some of you, you might go and listen to whether y'all listen to Christian or gospel music, like maybe you go and find someone you might have heard of, like Yolanda Adams or Kirk Franklin or, you know what I'm saying, or whoever, right?
Yeah.
Like, but listening to some music, just taking 10 minutes in the morning to listen to some music, or maybe there's a devotional that you like to read, or maybe you go straight to the Bible, or maybe it's the Bible app, or maybe you listen to a sermon on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like just something that just shuts your mind off of social media and TikTok and everything else. And you just saying, I'm going to put myself in a space this morning to hear from God and fellowship, whether it's through song or devotional or a sermon. Because I switch it up. Some mornings I'm in devotional. Some mornings I'm in straight worship. Some mornings I'm in prayer mode. Some mornings I need a sermon because I need a word from God. Yeah. So when he says spend more time with God, it's just more so being intentional about quieting the world. And I would also say this, the morning is the best. Some people say I'm not a morning person. Become a morning person.
Yes.
The word of God says Jesus got up while there was still dew on the ground. There's something special about the early morning, right? It's almost like somebody practicing for a football or a basketball game after the game. It's like, no. You warm up before the game. Yeah. And so that's what I would just say for those who might be wondering, like, okay, what does that look like to spend more time with God? That's what it can look like.
I just found an app. Well, I found the app. Have you heard of the prayer.com app? Oh, they have like bedtime Bible stories. They have like guided meditations for the scripture. James Earl Jones reads the whole Bible. It's
and he downloads it now.
I'm like,
facts,
what?
Right.
What's it called?
Prayer.com app.
Praise God. We need to be a sponsor.
Yes.
But we just love y'all so much, so we're going to go ahead and give it to you.
Like, I was just like, this is power. I played the first one.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm down. This it right here?
Let me hear. What?
Yeah,
stop
Pray.com. Yeah.
This is the year we execute
I was
and
just
pull the
like,
trigger.
this is bomb because when I can't sleep at night or if I'm restless or whatever, I put this on and it talks through different verses of the Bible and it actually has a story and then the music behind it. It's a whole production. And so it's just like here, I don't know if you can hear it real quick, but it's just so calming. Like, I don't know. Anyway, we'll play that later. But take my word for it.
From our sponsors.
It's like, anyway.
Some invest in expensive security systems, and others opt for having weapons.
Anyway, it takes you in this state of just being relaxed. The music, everything they put behind it is spiritual zen, but it's very intentional. And it's stories like children's stories. It's all kinds of people reading them too. So some of your favorite people are probably on here reading these Bible stories. And some of them I've never even heard. So I put it on at night and I just listen to it and
And that is such a tangible thing. Jeremy started with something tangible. Crystal, continue. And I'm gonna just finish it off with this, y'all. Do what you're able. We're not asking you to sit there. We're not asking you to sit there and start reading the Bible from front to from cover to cover. We're asking you to be willing to listen to someone read it to you. We're asking you just to be able to sit still and play that song that makes you emotional. You're running from releasing those tears. We're asking you to sit in the moment to just get started, to give God permission because God's not going to force his way in your life. But if you give him an invitation, he will come and come swiftly. I'm talking about he is already on standby for whatever it is that you already are praying for. You just have to release to receive. And when it comes down to it, you're not going to be able to blame that person that hurt you. You're not going to be able to blame the person that took advantage of you. You're not going to be able to blame the person that did you wrong. It is you versus you. And in 2023, you owe you the experience that God had planned for you. Y'all, that's it. This is the next level living. And we are excited for you to live your life on the next level. We'll see you next.
Let's get it.
I'm on another level.